When God thinks differently. Have you ever made a plan that felt perfect, only to watch it fall apart in a way you never expected? And in that moment, did you wonder, why would God allow this? Today we're looking at Isaiah 55, verse 8 to 9. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. These verses can be comforting, but also challenging, because they remind us of something we don't always like to admit. We don't see the full picture. God does. I want to share 4 quick points with you. Point 1. The gap between human understanding and God's wisdom. Let's be honest. Humans love understanding. We want explanations. We want clarity. We want to know why things happen. But Isaiah paints a picture of a massive gap, not a small difference, as high as the heavens are above the earth. That's not just poetic language. It's meant to stretch our imagination. Think about it. If you were trying to explain your life decisions to an ant, how much could it really grasp? That's a tiny glimpse of the difference between our understanding and God's. So when life doesn't make sense, when prayers seem unanswered, or situations feel unfair, it may not mean God is absent. It may mean God sees something we don't. Point 2. When God's ways feel confusing. There are moments when God's ways feel completely upside down. Doors close when we thought they should open. Waiting seasons stretch longer than we expected. Outcomes don't match our effort or faith. And in those moments, we're tempted to think, this can't be right. But what if the problem isn't God's plan? What if it's our perspective? Throughout life, we often judge situations too early. Something that feels like a setback today might be protection. Something that feels like a delay might actually be preparation. God operates outside of our timelines and expectations. What feels like silence to us might actually be careful orchestration behind the scenes. Point 3. Trusting without full understanding. Isaiah 55, verse 8 to 9, calls us to something deeper than understanding. It calls us to trust. Trust isn't built when everything makes sense. Trust is rebuilt when nothing does. It's choosing to believe God is still good when life feels hard. God is still working when we can see movement. God's plan is still unfolding even when we feel stuck. This kind of trust doesn't ignore reality. It anchors itself in God's character instead of our circumstances. Think of it this way. You don't need to understand the entire journey if you trust the one leading you. Point 4. A shift in perspective. What would change if we truly embrace this truth? That God's ways are higher. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? We might start asking, what could God be doing through this? Instead of resisting uncertainty, we might lean into it with faith. This doesn't mean we stop asking questions. It means We stop demanding that God fit inside our understanding. The conclusion. So the next time life doesn't go according to plan, remember Isaiah's words. God's thoughts are higher. His ways are greater. His perspective is eternal. And while we may not always understand what He's doing, we can trust that He does. Remember with Jesus, the race is not a sprint. It is a marathon. It's not the destination, it's the journey, and He is with us.